Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. I'm delighted to welcome you all to this exclusive invite-only webinar, Wholesale and Retail SMS Uncovered, Strategic Perspectives from an Industry Expert. I'm Hiya Shah, the Product Marketing Manager at Hex Wireless, and I'll be your host for today's session. So this is our first ever exclusive invite-only webinar, and if it's your first time joining us, welcome. You are in the right place to learn, explore, and gain fresh insights into the messaging ecosystem. So now, today's session is built with a clear agenda. So we'll begin by understanding the foundation of A2P messaging and why it has become so essential. And then we'll explore the roles of wholesalers and retailers, how they differ, how each operates, and the value they bring to the ecosystem. And from there, we look at the current industry landscape and challenges players face and the opportunities emerging in this fast changing market. And finally, we'll discuss how having the right infrastructure can make all the difference for both wholesalers and retailers as they scale their business. And to walk us through this agenda, we have with us Mr. Salah Ansari, the Associate Sales Director at Hex Wireless. Salah has worked extensively with both wholesalers and retailers, helping them optimize operations and expand across multiple regions. Salah, welcome to this session, and I'd also like to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to our audience before we dive in.
Thank you for inviting me over to the webinar here. It was a short notice. That's why I believe it's the exclusive webinar, right? So first of all, my name is Muhammad Salah, and I'm being part of the PowerSMPP for almost 1.5 years, leading directly the sales team from the front end and directly working with the wholesaler and retailers, right? So right now I'm working as a associate director of sales for the PowerSMPP, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so thank you so much, Salah. Let's get started. Okay, so for the first question, Salah, could you explain for our audience what A2P messaging really means and why has it become such a vital part of our communication today?
Well, first of all, we need to understand what the A2P is, right? So the A2P stands for the application to person messaging. In simple terms, it's when a business application or services sends a message directly to an individual user. Think of, for example, think about OTPs when you log into your bank, delivery updates from e-commerce platform or promotional campaigns from your telecom campaigns from your telecom provider. Unlike P2P, which is personal texting, A2P is structured, automated, and at scale. The reason it is so vital today is because real-time communication has become, absolutely critical. Customers expected to be informed instantly, whether it's a flight delay, a payment confirmation, or a promotional offers. A2P messaging is the most direct, reliable, and universally accessible way for enterprise to connect with their users. For example, when you make an online purchase, right, you expect an immediate SMS or WhatsApp messages confirming your order. If that message doesn't arrive, your trust in that platform drops. That's how central A2P messaging has become, not just for marketing, but for customers to trust their security and service.
Absolutely. I think that really highlights how critical A2P has become for both businesses and also the end users. Okay, and since A2P is no longer just about SMS, could you also share how the ecosystem has grown to include channels beyond traditional text messages?
Uh, Initially, A2P was synonymous with SMS only. And I believe SMS still remains the backbone because it works on every handset globally, right? Regardless of internal availability. But the ecosystem has evolved rapidly. Today, enterprises are no longer satisfied with just plain text. They want rich, interactive, and two-way communication. This is where OTT channels like WhatsApp, RCS comes into the picture. Right. For example, WhatsApp allow businesses not just to text, but also sharing images, video, documents. Even payment buttons are also there, right? All within a single conversation. RCS, I believe that takes SMS a step further, adding rich media and verified sender IDs directly into the native messaging app. If I have to talk about the industry trend, right? So it is very clear. Enterprises wants an omnichannel approach. They don't want to be locked into one channel specifically. They want a unified platform where SMS acts as the fallback channel, and but WhatsApp or RCS enhance the engagement. That is why platforms like ours are focusing on multi-channel integration, because today's consumer doesn't just read text; they interact with brands through multiple channels at once.
Exactly. I think that shift from simple SMS to rich omni-channel communication really highlights how enterprises now look for even deeper engagement with their customers. Okay, so I think this sets the stage perfectly. So now, since our topic focuses on wholesalers and retailers, let's break this down. How would you describe the difference between wholesaler and retailer in the messaging industry?
Uh, well, I believe the easiest way to understand the difference is to think of it like a traditional e-commerce wholesaler. Uh, for example, wholesalers buy in bulk from operators. They focus on traffic aggregation and routing. Their primary role is to move large volume of messages rapidly and cost effectively across borders. Now, on the other side, retailers are closer to the end customers, right? The enterprises basically. They provide the platform, APIs, dashboard, and customer-facing tools that allow businesses to run campaigns directly, send OTPs, and they're managing the entire customer communication. So, for example, in short, I can say that wholesalers are the backbone, ensuring traffic moves smoothly and cost effectively, while retailers are the face of the industry, ensuring enterprises have the features and flexibility to serve their end users.
Okay, so that was such a clear way to put it. Okay, so building upon that, wholesalers usually focus on bulk volumes and routing, while resellers are closer to businesses and end customers, as you just said. So, how do their priorities differ when it comes to delivering value?
I believe because of their positions in the chain, their priorities are naturally different. For example, if we have to talk about the wholesale rights, so wholesalers prioritize low cost per messages, high throughput, and route stability. They care about building direct relations with MNOs, securing their margins, and ensuring messages can be delivered across borders with minimum latency. But in the cases of retailers prioritize customer experience and compliance. For them, the questions are: does my client have an initiative dashboard? Can they manage campaigns in multiple languages, or can I offer them WhatsApp and SMS into a single place itself? Can I guarantee opt-in and data privacy compliance for them or not? So these are the basically, I believe, that define them, that which in chain their positions are right now and their priorities.
Okay, I think that was such a great distinction, and that really shows how complementary their roles are. All right. So, finally, for someone entering this industry for the first time, why is it important to clearly understand these two roles?
Um, I think it's important because success depends on knowing where you stand in the ecosystem yourself, right? If you are a wholesaler, but don't invest in the features that supports retail needs, you risk being cut out when enterprises demands more direct control, right? Similarly, if you are a retailer without wholesale level partnership, your cost will be higher. So your delivery will be less reliable and your enterprise customers might leave you. So the healthiest business in this space are those that can bridge both worlds, offering wholesale level scale and retail level usability.
Absolutely. I think it's clear that knowing your place in the chain isn't just helpful, but it's critical to building a competitive business. Right. So now that we understand their roles, let's look at the bigger picture. So, how would you describe the current messaging landscape? today, especially talking about wholesalers and retailers?
Well, the A2P industry right now is in a transition phase. SMS volumes are stable globally, but growth is a little bit of flat, right? Enterprises continues to use SMS because of its universality, right? But the big shift is toward OTT channels like WhatsApp and RCS. We see retailers adapting faster because enterprises are basically pushing for omnichannel solutions. They want to run a marketing campaign on WhatsApp, then fall back to SMS if the user is not reachable. They want analytics, chatbots, and integration with the CRMs. Wholesaler, on the other hand, are consolidating margins are shrinking due to competition, and compliance rules are very strict in this case. The ones who succeed are basically those who have direct operator partnership and can guarantee clean, high quality routes.
Perfect. I think that paints a very clear picture. Okay, and as regulations get stricter worldwide, like DLT in India and also GDPR in Europe, how do these compliance requirements
Well,
affect
compliance
wholesalers
are
and retailers
definitely a game
differently?
changer because in the past the industry tolerated gray routes and inconsistent sender practices, right? That's no longer possible due to regulators and operators are enforcing strict rules. In case wholesaler, this means ensuring all routes are legitimate, filtered and compliant with MNUs and government rules, right? For retailers, this means ensuring every message sent is consent-based, opt-in is properly managed, and data privacy regulations like GDPR or India's DLT are followed. Compliance is no longer just about basically, avoiding penalties. It's now a competitive differentiator. Now, enterprises prefer providers who can basically guarantee compliant and reliable messaging.
Definitely. I think it's now a key factor in how wholesalers and retailers even run their business. Right. Okay. So now considering all of these shifts, where do you see the biggest growth potential right now? Is it more on the wholesale side or the retail side or both?
Well, um, in the short term, I think the biggest growth is on the retail side. Enterprises are definitely asking for multi-channel dashboards, right? AI-powered chatbots, real-time analytics, and white-label solutions. Whoever provides the best enterprise-facing tools will definitely grow the fastest way possible, right? But if we look at the long-term goals, right, wholesale, I believe, remains vital still. Enterprises may want, basically you can say that they may want shiny dashboards, but without a strong wholesale partnership and direct operator connection, those dashboard won't deliver at all, right? So that's why growth in wholesale will come through strategic partnership with MNOs and expansion into OTT connectivity, not just into the SNS.
Yes, I think that makes a lot of sense that retail may be growing faster now, but wholesale is still the foundation that keeps everything running. Right. So now talking about the hurdles, what are some biggest challenges that wholesalers face in today's market? What do you think?
Basically, wholesalers right now, challenges that they are facing, I think that they face margin pressure, route instability, and regulatory crackdowns. Gray routes are being blocked, and operators are demanding more transparency. So, at the same time, competition is at all-time high. You can say the competition is intense. Everyone is fighting for the lowest cost per SMS, which is the margin, basically.
Exactly. I think that's true. And when we flip to the retail side, what unique challenges do retailers face that are different from wholesalers?
Retail is a completely different kinds of challenges into the industry. Now, for example, customer expectations are moving faster than their platforms, right? Enterprises, they don't just want SMS anymore. They want somewhere where they can send out rich media directly. They want WhatsApp, voice, all in a single place. Retailer needs to keep moving in basically investing in multi-channel features while also managing the compliance as well. Language localization is another challenge I can see. A retailer serving in Latin must provide Spanish and Portuguese support. Without it, they will definitely lose customers to more localized platforms.
Okay, right. So if I, as a wholesaler or retailer, want to leverage that challenge into an opportunity, so then how should I do that?
Uh, For basically wholesaler, the opportunity is to move away from risky gray routes and secure direct MNO partnership. Yes, margins may be a little bit thinner, but the traffic will be cleaner and sustainable. For the retailer side, the opportunity is differentiate with value-added services. For example, a retailer who integrate WhatsApp chatbots, right, advanced analytics and CRM integration will stand out from those who only provide the basic expenses. And
Okay, exactly.
yeah, please.
Yes. Yes, I think that's right. It's about moving past short-term fixes and building long-term value. Right.
Yes,
Okay. So there is one thing that both wholesalers and retailers rely on heavily, and that is a strong, dependable infrastructure. So the entire business really comes down to whether you have the right engine behind your operations. So, Salah, from your perspective, what kind of platform or infrastructure is critical for wholesalers and retailers to succeed today?
well, to succeed in today's market, whether wholesaler or retailers, they need a robust, flexible platform. That means basically providing them a high throughput, and the platform should have the capability of scalability. Routing intelligence should be there, and real-time monitoring and reporting section needs to be there as well. Apart from all of that, what I truly believe is that multi-channel support, so SMS and WhatsApp, can run all of those basically into a single system yourself. Without this kinds of infrastructure, you cannot survive in today's competitive market.
Okay, so that really sums it up. So without the right platform as the backbone, neither wholesalers or nor resellers can scale or stay competitive. Okay, so let's address the audience for a moment. As we are moving towards the end of the webinar, I would love to announce that audiences, you may ask questions through the Q&A button on your screen, and we'll be taking up those questions towards the end. Okay, so moving on. Considering the diverse needs on both the sides, high volume bulk routing on one hand and customer facing features on the other, how does a platform like PowerSMPP position itself to serve these different requirements?
Uh, PowerSMPP is basically designed to serve both the wholesaler and retailers. Now, for example, if I'm going to talk about the wholesaler, it offers high TPS throughput, advanced routing, and transparent monitoring. It's built to handle billions of messages with stability. And now for the retailers part, it provides multi-channel APIs, campaign dashboard, white label option, and billing tools as well. So they can manage their enterprise client with ease. In essence, Power SMPP basically bridges both worlds. It gives wholesalers their backbone that they need and retailers the front end tool that they require.
That's perfect. Okay. So what do you think is the future for wholesale and retail industry? Let's talk about wholesale first.
Well, if we look at the wholesale side, I believe the industry is heading toward consolidation and maturity. For many years, basically, wholesale was driven heavily by price competition and unfortunately, the use of the grades, right? But those days are slowly coming to an end. Mobile operators are basically tightening their control. Regulators are imposing stricter compliance frameworks, and enterprises are there to becoming more sensitive to quality and data security. So in the future, basically, wholesale will be dominated by players who can offer at least direct operator relationship. They can offer multi-channel capacity and transparency compliance as well. And the most important part thing I think is that the scale and resilience for the wholesale market. To put it simply, I can say that the wholesale industry will still play a critical backbone role in A2P messaging, but it will become more specialized, regulated, and value driven instead of just being the cheapest provider. The winners will be those basically who can guarantee the quality, compliance, and flexibility in an increasingly complex multi-channel environment. On the retail side, okay, the future I believe is incredibly exciting because this is where the most of the innovation and customer facing value will be created. Unlike wholesale, which is consolidating, retail is expanding rapidly as enterprise demand richer, more interactive way to communicate with their customers. I see, from my point of view, I see three big trends shaping the retail future. Those are shift from SMS to multi-channel CPaaS platform. The another is, I think, the value-added services which can be provided as a differentiator. And the third is the localization and compliance-first approach. The key difference with retail is that it's customer experience, right? The winners will be those who can help enterprise run effectively, compliant, and engaging customer journeys, not just deliver the SMS or WhatsApp messages. So, if to sum it up, I think if wholesale is about backbone reliability, retail is about front-end intelligence and innovation. Together, there are two sides of the same coin, I can say. But I believe most of the immediate growth and new opportunities in the next 5 years will come from the retail and C by side of the market.
Okay, I think that was such a powerful outlook, and it really showed how both sides will shape the future of messaging in very different but equally important ways. Okay, so if you were to put it simply, how will Power SMPP evolve with the market?
Well, the future of our SLT is to become a complete CPaaS enabler, right? We are not just focusing on SMS. We are already supporting WhatsApp, and the RCS is in our roadmap. Our vision is basically to give both wholesale and retailers a unified, compliance-first, analytics-driven platform that can, adapt as a new channel emerge. We see ourselves basically not just as a messaging platform, but as a partner helping businesses scale communication in a smarter, faster, and a more compliant.
Absolutely. I think that's a clear and very forward-looking vision. Okay. So audience, now it's your turn. So if you have any questions regarding today's webinar or using Power SMPP, you can drop them in the chat. Let's take a few and have Salah answer them live. Okay, so we have the first question right here. It says that with all these new channels like WhatsApp and RCS, how do smaller retailers compete without huge infrastructure investments?
Well, that's a great question. Because smaller retailers often feel they are at a disadvantage compared to larger enterprises that have high budgets, IT teams, and direct carrier relationship. Basically, traditionally, new channels like WhatsApp or RCS looked out of reach for them. So, but today the landscape has shifted. With cloud-based CPaaS platform and white label plug-and-play solution, smaller retailers basically can access enterprise-grade communication capabilities without having to invest in heavy infrastructure. Now, here's how I can explain the market basically. So, no infrastructure are needed for a platform like PowerSMPP. They are already integrated with SMS and WhatsApp and even emails as well. Retailers simply log in and start using them. No hardware or direct operator contacts are needed for them else. The second option that we have is pay as you go price, and built-in tool are over there as well. Now, The technical setup will be from our side as well. Lightweight compliance support will be there as well. Even smaller businesses, we can avoid risk of messages blocking or fines because platforms now automatically enforce sender ID formats and basic regional rules, so they can focus on growth while the system takes care of the essentials. A great use case I can share on this is that an e-commerce brand in India started with WhatsApp with order updates and used SMS fallback for OTPs. When a plug and play CPaaS with a plug and play CPaaS platform, they avoided all infrastructure costs at the same time, but built-in compliance will ensure their campaigns didn't get blocked by carriers. Within a quarter, their engagement rates jumped up to 20% directly.
Okay, so those were some great insights. We have a second question right here, and it says that you mentioned compliance is now a differentiator. So how does Power SMPP help ensure we are always meeting local regulations?
Well, compliance has basically evolved from a background requirement to becoming a key differentiator in messaging. Enterprises now ask not just can you deliver the message, but can you deliver it in a compliant way, basically, without risking fines or reputational damages. Now, Power essentially makes basically compliance a built-in instant, not an afterthought. We have dynamic sender ID management, we have geo-specific routing policies, we have flexible development, and then we have audit-ready transparency as well.
Okay, that's perfect. All right, and we are taking up one last question due to the limited time. So it says that for wholesalers, is there still room to grow in SMS, or should everyone be focusing on multi-channel strategies?
In my perspective, I can say that it's not a matter of SMS or multi-channel. It's basically about both. I believe SMS remains the backbone of the global message, but wholesales who evolve into multi-channel basically enables will capture the most growth. Now, SMS will definitely matter because it remains unmatched for reach and reliability, particularly for OTPs, banking alerts, and government notification. Every mobile phone support SMSs, making it indispensable. Now, on the other side, we're going to talk about the multi-channel growth. Enterprises are basically richer engagement. So channels like WhatsApp, RCS are growing very fast. Wholesalers who ignore basically this risk losing relevance. And apart from that, those who basically offers the bundle services, I can say that those who can offer SMS plus WhatsApp with a single interface and billing model, making wholesaler basically essential for the enterprises. For if I have to share the use case in Latam, one aggregators who once offered only SMS are now providing SMS plus WhatsApp hybrid campaigns. For example, delivery companies send updates over WhatsApp first and fall back to SMS and if it is undelivered. This improves delivery rates and customer satisfaction while keeping SMS volume strong.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so thank you so much, Salah. This was such an insightful session. And I think everyone now has a much clearer picture of how A2P messaging works, the distinct roles of wholesalers and retailers play, and also the opportunities that lie ahead in this evolving ecosystem. So to all our attendees, thank you so much for spending this time with us. And if you'd also like to explore PowerSMPP, how PowerSMPP can support your business, we've made it easy. Just click the link in the chat to connect directly with our team and book a free demo. So yeah, until next time, take care. Thank you.